Good afternoon, liveweatherblogs.com meteorologist Bob Acanfrio with an afternoon update on Hurricane Earl, Wednesday, September 1st, 2010. Earl is, this is as of 2 p.m., maximum sustained winds 125, movement northwest at 17. We have minimum central pressure of 941. As you remember, this morning we were at 943. So about a steady state today, a little bit of strengthening, but it looks like in the end, the dry air that's associated surrounding Earl is kind of keeping him in check. Although he looked a little better organized today than yesterday. Nice clear eye. It's just that dry air is just kind of holding back the convection just enough to kind of keep it in a steady state. I thought we might see a little bit of strengthening today, and we did to an extent, but I believe we're just going to see this steady state all the way till it makes landfall. Not makes landfall, it gets pretty close to the Outer Banks of North Carolina. So we should stay around that Category 3 motion all the way till it gets to close to North Carolina here by tomorrow night. No change in the cone really from the National Hurricane Center. We got hurricane watches from the North Carolina-Virginia border to Cape Henlopen, Delaware, right here in the light pink. We have hurricane warnings from Bogue Inlet, North Carolina to the North Carolina-Virginia border here in red. I suspect we'll see probably tropical storm watches go up along the Jersey coast here, maybe on the next advisory or later tonight. And then possibly by tomorrow see some hurricane watches go out for eastern Long Island and the maybe Rhode Island and southeastern Massachusetts in here. So that's what we're looking at right now as far as that goes. I'll give you some of my thoughts here in a minute. Here's a satellite view. You see Earl's really hasn't changed much in structure all day today. Very interesting. If you want to see something cool, come down here and check out these arc clouds just flying out of the hurricane here. This means there's a lot of dry air present around here. When you see these arc clouds, just watch them again shooting off like this. That means there's a lot of dry air in here. So this dry air is kind of, although it's beautiful looking hurricane, could you just imagine if this dry air wasn't in here? Probably would have saw a Category 4 close to a Category 5 hurricane right now. That dry air has just kind of kept it in check just enough. Still a very powerful Category 3 hurricane. Going on forecast points today, which is good. So that's good news there. Everything going well with this forecast so far. And we're getting a little more confident of what we might expect for North Carolina and then points farther north there. We're really set on this forecast right now. I don't think we're going to see much changes in the next 24 to 48 hours. And here we go, water vapor loop. You could see it's still a lot of dry air right around the hurricane. It's still a very healthy hurricane, beautiful outflow. We have a anticyclone building above it. Not much wind shear today at all. Here's that high pressure just to its north. It's starting to try to give way here. So this is going to force this off to the northwest and then north and then pretty close to the Outer Banks. I'm still guessing around 50 miles to the east of the Outer Banks. This will still put the areas in that hurricane warned area in the western eye wall, and hurricane force winds should be felt there by tomorrow night. And then again from there we're going to go just like this, and I expect we could see another landfall near Cape Cod, Nantucket area going into late Friday. So that's what it's looking like now, and then another landfall possibly, definitely this is going to get near Nova Scotia in the end here as a Category 1. So Category 3 as it heads near North Carolina coastline tomorrow night. Then as it passes east of Jersey, probably weaken down to a Category 2. And you could possibly see another landfall near southeast Massachusetts here as a Category 2 hurricane. Latest model runs, here's some of them here. You see the no gaps has still been pretty much the western outlier. Everybody pretty much right in this area here. Good consensus. I still say, and then we're going to follow, I'm really hooked on that GFS with this storm. I think it's going to come a little farther west like this. Almost like the no gaps, which would be incredible if that model's been correct this whole time. But I think we're going to see something just like that as far as track goes. Early run models, 12Z again. Everybody pretty much right there, right off the coast. Comparing the 6Z GFS to the 12Z, look at the differences here. Almost see a little negative tilt trying to happen right in here. So that could suck this a little closer to the coast. And again, that would make the southeastern Massachusetts area, Cape Cod, Nantucket Island, that area susceptible for landfall here. If it doesn't make a landfall in North Carolina, that could be our first landfall right there. So again, GFS just sliding it just a slight bit west. And this little bit of west here and there, that's going to make all the difference here, whether you're getting hurricane force winds or not. So that's what I'm looking at right now. If you're living up in that southeast Massachusetts area, and I'll show you the timeline again on this. That's going to be more like Friday night, right in this area here. Going to have to be aware if you have some, if you're living out here, especially out along the Cape, Nantucket Island, out in this area, extreme southeast Massachusetts. Start looking over your hurricane plans now. See what needs to be done. This is a good time. We got a couple days here to prepare. So prepare there, and even eastern Maine, extreme eastern Maine over in this area. Want to be prepared as well, because you could get clipped by some hurricane force winds. Hurricane will be weakening as it comes up through here, but still could be a powerful wind event here. So that's what we have to watch for. We know North Carolina, you guys are preparing. There's evacuations. I think there's a state of emergency. I think the governor has just declared here for North Carolina. So again, everything's in place there. If they're telling you to evacuate, evacuate. That's the best plan there. Again, up the coast here, the effects won't be as much through Delaware, New Jersey. Could still see southeastern Virginia might get clipped by some hurricane force winds. It'll depend how far away it stays from the coast. Then from Virginia Beach northward through Maryland, Delaware, Jersey, tropical storm force winds a good possibility. I don't think we're going to see any hurricane force winds in that area. Then as we go from extreme eastern Long Island, eastern Rhode Island, southeastern Massachusetts, right in this area, Cape Cod, could see some hurricane force winds right in this area here. So that's the timeline again. All right, let's get back to the models. GFS, late Thursday night, early Friday morning, coming very close to the Outer Banks. Like I said, I'm thinking about 50 miles east right now. And then here's the timeline. This is going Friday night, like I said. Could make a second landfall right near Cape Cod area. And you could see hurricane force winds, extreme eastern Long Island, eastern Rhode Island, and then extreme southeastern Massachusetts. And then finally, could be either the first or the second landfall near Nova Scotia by Saturday morning. And this will be a Category 1 storm by then up here. GFDL, slight shift left in the 12Z model run. And we'll see that again. You can see again, almost like the GFS. Almost mirrors it. This is the Euro model. Euro model actually shifted a little farther east today, just a slight bit. And there we go, just a little east, but almost mirroring the GFS and the, a lot of the models are in good agreement right now. So I don't think much is going to change with this track. And again, towards the end here, you see which I'll show you in a minute, our newest tropical depression number 9, which could be Gaston, right in this area in about 10 days. So another one to watch there. Okay, now this is going to be, bear with me here, this is going to be the storm surge model here. And this is if it goes as planned. This is really taking the GFS and showing you what could happen. So we see here by Thursday night, you can see as the storm's approaching about 2 to 3 foot surge right in this area. Again, these winds are going to be blowing offshore here, so not too bad. Initially, we might get a little bit of surge as the storm's passing, as these winds will be northeast right in this area here. So, 2 to 3 foot surge, maybe 4 foot. And then let's just move this along a little farther just so you can see where we're at. Then as it comes up the coast again, you can see even some bay flooding here. As this passes north, winds will whip back to the north and northwest. We could see some bay flooding on the Outer Banks in here. We'll have to watch that. You can see right here, 2 to 3 foot surge on the other side as this system comes around. And again, 2 to 3 foot up towards Virginia Beach. And let's see, we'll move this a little farther here. I'll kind of show you. And then as it moves up the coast again, watch for this bay flooding. As this storm passes to your north, winds will come in from the northwest, and we could see some bay flooding here in North Carolina. And again, up along here, surge of about 2 to 3 feet, Delaware, Maryland. So we should see some coastal flooding as well. And then getting up into Jersey, probably a little less, probably more in the order of 1 to 2 foot surge as the storm's moving a little farther away there. Wave heights, we should see about 8 to 10 foot seas along the Jersey coast. And then anywhere anywhere south of Jersey, Maryland, Virginia, they could see about 10 to 15 foot seas. And then we're here, I'll show you the next track here. And this is a surge for this area here as it's coming up north. Let's back this up just a little bit here. So here comes the storm. And again, Jersey, 8 to 10 foot seas, probably about 1 to 2 foot storm surge. And then eastern Long Island, eastern Rhode Island right in here, southeast Massachusetts. Again, probably about 10 to 15 foot seas in here. And I'll show you the storm surge model here as it moves up the coast here. And then again, we're looking at probably like 2 to 3 foot surge. And then we want to watch as this system moves north again. We have to watch this flooding coming back down through the bay here. And it could flood this areas of Cape Cod right in here. So we have to watch as this storm moves north. These winds are going to back to the north, almost like a nor'easter event. So that's what we have for the storm surge. Again, please be very aware of this storm, especially North Carolina, Outer Banks. As you know, you're under hurricane warning. And then this area right here, eastern Long Island, eastern Rhode Island, and extreme southeastern Massachusetts, including Nantucket, Martha's Vineyard, this whole area. Got to really be aware of this storm coming up. What else do we have real quickly? We do have our newest tropical depression, number 9. This could become Gaston in the next 24 hours. And there's the initial track moving pretty slowly out here. Long way to watch this one. Initial models here, of course, this is just very preliminary, but I'm thinking this takes more of a west-northwest track all the way in and possibly could be our first system entering the Caribbean here. I don't think it's going this way, although the models are now split. But this is initially, I predict this is going to move farther west as the Azore-Bermuda High really builds into its north. That's it for this afternoon. I will have another update for you guys tomorrow morning. Have a good night, and see you later. Thank you. And listen to liveweatherblogs.com for all your latest weather information on Hurricane Earl.